Well, I'm Ryan Michael Galloway of WeDon'tNeedNoStinkingRecordCompany.com, and we've been talking about anomalies in equipment, devilish things, things that drive you crazy. And so tonight we're going to talk about the devilish RF. That's radio frequency and what's causing it. Why does it get into your system? What the heck's going on? So generally you've got a lot of cables lying around. We've been using this as a prop for several things I've been talking about. And I don't know if I can show you this, but wrapped around this particular cable is the inside of a phone jack. Wrapped around the inside of this sheath here is a mesh that creates a shield, and it's actually, I think, attached to this lead, and that actually is designed to capture and bleed off things like radio signal. Now, that gets plugged into an amplifier and it gets amplified naturally. It gets to be made louder. And so if you have a cable that doesn't have any shielding, and there's some out there, and I'll tell you why in just a minute, that's likely to if it doesn't have any shielding, it's likely to allow some radio frequency in. And when it does, now there's a principle here. If you have a wire and a magnetic wave crosses that wire, it will cause electricity to flow through that wire. Well, that magnetic wave, that's basically what a radio wave is. It's an electromagnetic impulse that comes across that wire. If it's not shielded, it gets into it, gets amplified, and you hear things like in the background, or you hear truckers on CB radios. You'll hear the local radio station. You'll wonder why is it showing up in my PA system? It's probably because you got something unshielded, or something where the shielding is not doing what it's supposed to do, or you've got a transmitter so close that it doesn't matter how much shielding you've got, it's going to get through. So that is the devilish RF, radio frequency. And what to do about it: use shielded cable. What would be an unshielded cable? An unshielded cable would typically be used as a speaker wire. Now, I want you to understand that a speaker wire, the signal going through a speaker wire is very powerful. It's going from the amplifier to the speaker, naturally. It's not getting amplified. It's already up to the highest amplification level it's going to be. So you really want a wire that will zip that power straight out to the speaker with very little resistance, and so it's going to be a heavy wire, and you ain't going to need no stinking shielding either. So if you try to use a speaker cable, an inexpensive lightweight speaker cable, as a guitar cable or as something to patch together some other pieces of equipment like your pedals, you're going to get a lot of RF and a lot of hum and a lot of garbage. Anything, a light, whatever is creating electromagnetic impulse and 60 cycle hums, etc., is going to hit that wire, and it's going to get amplified because it's pre the period that hits the amplifier. And once it hits the amp and it's a speaker wire, who cares? It doesn't need to be shielded at all. So if you're plugging something in that's after the amplifier going to the speaker, it doesn't have to be shielded. If it's before it gets to the amp, it does. I'm Ryan Michael Galloway, and WeDon'tNeedNoStinkingRecordCompany.com.